We here at the Sports History Network proudly partner with 26 podcasts, all revolving around the history of sports. But did you know that many of our hosts were sports history authors way before they started their shows? It's true. We've got Joe Ziemba, host of When Football Was Football, Joe Zagurski, host of Pro Football in the 1970s, Mark Morthier, host of Yesterday's Sports, Tommy Phillips, host of Lombardi Memories, and Scott Adamson, co-host of From the 55-Yard Line. All these authors have many books for you to choose from. To check them out, go to our website at sportshistorynetwork.com/sportshistorybooks. Pick up your copy today. Soundtrack provided by Kevin MacLeod of filmmusic.io.
Hello all, glad you're here listening to Dingers and Dunks. Since it's Father's Day week, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, and the moms that fill both shoes. So, on a personal note, just finished up week 2 of the new job, and it's going great. I feel that. Golf season is in full swing, and going to hopefully get into some baseball games of the local team this week as well. So I got a fun fact and I got a did you know this week. The first thing about this fun fact is it's a little personal. Fun fact is if you're too good at fantasy baseball, the league you're in will create a rule just for you to then limit your greatness. So this brings me to my fantasy baseball league. So apparently if you make too many transactions, even though there's an unlimited amount of transactions you can make in a week, it upsets the other guys because apparently they don't take the time to keep track of their fantasy baseball team like I do. So anyways, I was making 3 transactions a day because basically I was streaming pitchers. To me, that's not a big deal. My draft was Rizzo, Juan Soto, Machado, Tatis, Ohtani. I drafted offensive players first, and then pitchers. I drafted Hader and Chapman for closers, obviously, and the rest I was just going to stream, so I didn't really care. I even had Jazz Chisholm on the team at one point, but traded him away, and so far, that trade has not worked out too well for me. But it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. I also drafted Javi Baez and Byron Buxton, both released due to not producing. Apparently, you got to actually be healthy to produce. So, anyways, a few weeks back, we're in week 7, and these guys that I'm in with, first year playing this league, new guy. I understand you're a little intimidated by the new guy that's making 123 transactions through the first 7 weeks. It is what it is, bro. Nobody on my team is really untouchable. Everybody's for sale. I'm basically, I don't get attached to players. As a fantasy owner of my fantasy teams, I don't get attached to players. Everybody's tradable. Everybody's expendable. If you're not producing for me, see ya. I'm moving to the next guy. I'm like an NFL owner on running backs, for crying out loud. That's how that works, okay? So, even in my fantasy football leagues, which it's a 14-week regular season, I think, and then I make over 100 transactions, and that's in 3 different leagues. So, yeah, fantasy baseball, I'm going to make a lot of transactions, especially when I'm streaming pitchers. Unfortunately, these guys, like I said, didn't appreciate it. So I felt like I got Jock Peterson out of the whole deal. Tommy Pham with the slap heard around the world. That's how I felt one Sunday night when text messages started blowing up. So they created a rule to where you only can have 5 transactions a week. Not let's limit the number of pitchers you can throw in a week, because that would make the most logical sense, which I brought that point up to them. If you don't, the number of transactions a week to 5, that's kind of ridiculous. Their point was, well, you have 10 bench spots. I'm like, I don't care if I have 10 bench spots or not. How about we just limit the number of pitchers? Because the week that I lost, up to this point, I only had 1 loss. And that week was the guy started 49 different pitchers. And his excuse was, well, I was just trying to prove a point. Like, okay, thanks, bro, for proving your point. Like, maybe you should do that every week then. I don't know. You seem to do it against me, for crying out loud. So, anyways, since this whole Week 7 rule change, I am now 1-2, which is a little irritating because I lost 1 week by 1.5. Freaking jackasses. So, yeah. Needless to say, this will be my one and only year in this league. Unless I get made commissioner next year, which that'd be pretty sweet. Because then, guess what? It's unlimited transactions again. So, yeah. But that's okay. I'm going to make the playoffs anyways. Because I currently have a 5-game lead over the 7th place team of this 10-team league, mind you, where 6 teams make the playoffs. Yeah. So it's all good. And hey, if any of you guys in this league are listening, yeah, I'm going to win it, bro. Enough said. Guarantee it. Joe Namath, Super Bowl III, guarantee. I'm winning the league. All right. And now to my Did You Know of the week. Okay. So, this pertains to the definition of a hit. Okay? Everybody knows what a hit is. But we all hear that one coach. We've always had that one parent that says, hey, Timmy, a walk is as good as a hit. Well, in my view, a walk's not as good as a hit because a hit, you can hit a homer, bro. Hit dingers all day. Swing for those fences, little Timmy and little Johnny's out there. And even little Caitlin's and Carly's and all you little Rugrats playing Little League Baseball. Swing for the fences because you're only young once. As I'm turning 40 next month. So, Coach says walk is just as good a hit. Well, in 1887, that was true. For that season, anytime you walked, it was counted as a hit. Tip O'Neill batted .485 that year. .485. That was with his walks included. Okay? So, in 1968, Major League Baseball formed a special baseball records commission and ruled that walks in 1887 should not be counted as hits. But then they decided to reverse this decision in 2000. So they reversed the decision in 2000, saying that stats which were recognized by each year's official record should stand even if they were proven incorrect. Well, as for Tip O'Neill's .485 batting average, most everybody else, lists his batting average at .435 without the walks, which he still would have won the batting title that year. So, of the now defunct American Association. So that's not a big deal. The controversy here is the Cap Anson and Sam Thompson batting average award, because Cap Anson batted .421 with walks included, and Thompson batted .372. Now, Anson wouldn't have won the batting title if walks weren't included. Thompson would have. So, I guess you guys can decide who should win that piece of batting title history in the National League. And thanks for the fine resources of Wikipedia. Don't always believe everything you read on Wikipedia, just some, like this. Okay? So, appreciate Wikipedia for bringing the stats. Now, let's do I love these little segments. I feel like I'm bringing out a little special history, a little more history into the episode for you guys. If you guys have any thoughts or want to comment about it, email me, oneguywithamic@gmail.com. I'm openly available to emails. Follow me on Facebook and shoot me a message. One Guy with a Mic. Follow me on Twitter. One Guy with a Mic. Follow me on TikTok. One Guy with a Mic. Hit me up on Twitter or Twitch when I'm on that. I haven't been on that for a couple months, so I'll be there watching my buddy Sal, but that's about it. And maybe my buddy now, Big Bear Pig Gaming. Got to golf with him yesterday. That was pretty awesome. Full-time streamer here in the local area. Got some few tips from him. So, yeah. So, anyways, back to this day in history. And the award this week goes to June 23rd. For the simple fact that June 23rd is apparently known for no-hitters. So if you're going to throw a no-hitter, you probably should throw it June 23rd. Because June 23rd of 1917, Babe Ruth gets one out of the 27 needed, right? He then throws a punch at an umpire and is ejected for the game after he gets that out. So in comes Ernie Shaw, who then retires the next 26 batters for him and Ruth to combine for a no-hitter, with the Red Sox winning that game 4-0 over the Washington Senators. Now, we move up to June 23rd, 1971. I'm a numbers guy, so it's a little freaky that June 23rd, 1917 and June 23rd, 1971, with 71 and 17 reversing one another, we have another no-hitter. This one by Rick Wise of the Phillies. He no-hit the Reds. And he hit 2 dingers and drove in 3 runs in the 4-0 win. All right, now the last one's not a no-hitter, but he got screwed over by the umpire. It was the Montreal screw job, if anybody guys understand wrestling terms. That was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. FYI. So anyway, June 23rd, 1994. Bobby Witt. Not Bobby Witt Jr. for you recent baseball fans, but his dad, Bobby Witt, was a pitcher for the Oakland A's. Okay? So, Bobby Witt. Oh, and what's so funny about this? What's ironic about this is this game took place against the Kansas City Royals. Just a little heads up on that. So anyway, Bobby Witt in the 6th inning of a perfect game loses it due to a blown call by first base umpire Gary Cederstrom. Greg Gagne of Minnesota Twins fame and now playing for the Kansas City Royals was incorrectly called safe on a bunt single. Now, mind you, it's the 6th inning. So, I mean, granted, it was a 3-0 game at the time. So, I mean, you could technically say bunting for a hit there wasn't against the unwritten rules of baseball. Maybe it was the 8th or 9th, then yeah, but the 6th, not so much. So, the second baseman scoops it to the first baseman, and the ball beats the runner to the bag, beats the runner to first, and he's called safe by the first base umpire. And then Witt and the first baseman and Tony La Russa are all arguing about this with the first base umpire. And then the home plate umpire finally comes out and breaks it up and says, get back to work, apparently. So Witt would go on to finish the game with 14 Ks and that one hit and a shutout. I think we should probably rectify that to make it a perfect game, or put a little asterisk next to it. You know, put an asterisk next to it. Call it good. All right. I mean, and I think we've done that with Maris' 61 because he hit it in 163 games. Whoop-de-doo. We've done that with Bonds, I think, right? Because he was allegedly juiced up. So why not this guy? All right. So now let's get to this week's topics, shall we? We are celebrating men's college basketball since it's the 75th anniversary. Okay. We're also celebrating the 20-year career in the WNBA of Sue Bird. Arguably, probably one of the best point guards basketball has ever seen, men or women. Okay. So the question this week for College World Series is, can Oklahoma, in only its 10th appearance in the College World Series, pull off the impossible like what the Oklahoma women's softball team did at the Women's College Softball World Series? As of this recording, they already beat the 6th-ranked Texas A&M, who then went on to beat Texas. The Men's College World Series has been played every year but 2020 since 1947. Okay, so you really can't say every year, but for all you wordsmiths out there, they were like, you can't say every if it wasn't actually every. Like, all right, bro, I gotcha. That's why I put the exception in there. Okay, so 1947's championship game was played between the Yale Bulldogs and the University of California at Berkeley. It was played June 27th and June 28th in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yale and California each had to win a district tournament and one of two regionals, because at the time they only had two regionals. Notable Yale player that year was former President George H.W. Bush. And the Cal Berkeley won it. And then in 1948, it was played in Kalamazoo, Michigan again. And again, Yale was there with George H.W. Bush on the roster. And they played against another California team, USC. USC won the title in 3 games. And that was the last time Yale made an appearance. And it was the first of 12 titles for USC. So, and then in 1949, the tournament was moved to Wichita, Kansas, and expanded to 4 teams that would play that weekend, over those 2 days, in a double elimination tournament, kind of what we have today, except now it's 8 teams. The teams in this tournament included St. John's, Wake Forest, Texas, and USC. Were the teams with Texas and... So then Texas and Wake Forest played in the championship game, and Texas prevailed, marking the first of 6 titles. And this is also the first year they recognized a Most Outstanding Player award, and the winner was Texas first baseman Tom Hamilton. All right. So then in 1950, the tournaments moved to Omaha and played at Johnny Rosenblatt Stadium, also known as Omaha Municipal, up until 1969, I think. It was located, well, I'm not for sure if it was located next to this in 1950. However, as I grew up, it was always located next to the Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo. And Rosenblatt was there until 2010, before it was replaced with TD Ameritrade Ballpark in downtown Omaha, now called Charles Schwab Field. 1950 was also the first year the field expanded to 8 teams, featuring Alabama, Bradley University, Colorado A&M, Rutgers, Texas, Tufts University, Washington State, and Wisconsin. The championship game was Texas versus Washington State, with Texas winning again. So there you have. Texas was also the first back-to-back champions as well. In 1958, all-tournament team was picked for the first time, with the winners being pitchers Doug Gillick of Missouri and Bill Thorne of USC. Catcher was Hank Coleman of Missouri. First base was Sonny Siebert of Missouri. Side note, Sonny Siebert remains the last AL pitcher to hit 2 home runs in a game. Second base was Mike Castona of USC. Keith Komodzinski of Holy Cross. Shortstop was Fred Scott of USC. Outfield included Ron Fairley of USC, Marion Taft of Missouri, and Marion Winiger of Western Michigan. In 1999, the tournament was expanded from 32 teams to 64 teams, the entire tournament, that is. In all, there have been 29 different winners, ranging from big schools like USC and Texas to small schools like Holy Cross, Coastal Carolina, Wichita State, and Pepperdine, who each have 1. And Texas and LSU have 6. As I said, USC leads all with 12. And Texas has made the most appearances with 36. Followed by Miami with 25. And Miami has 20. It has 4 championships. Arizona State has 22 appearances and 5 championships. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Arizona State and FSU have 22 appearances. Arizona State has 5 championships, while Florida State has a big 0. Been there 22 times and have yet to win a championship. USC has 21 appearances. So, heck, if USC is making the College World Series, they're probably going to win it. Players such as Bonds, Clemens, Troy Glaus, Alex Cora, who is coach of the Red Sox, Nomar Garciaparra, Deion Sanders, Dave Winfield, Mike Schmidt, all have played in the College World Series, and multiple other major leaguers, like Mark Pryor and Mark Apple. Even though I don't think Mark Apple really made the major leagues. And then you have Roger Clemens, who has won a College World Series, a Major League a World Series, and 7 Cy Youngs. He wasn't even named. Even though he threw 9 innings the championship game in 1983, he still was not considered the outstanding player of the tournament, nor was he named on the all-tournament team. Calvin Schiraldi won the most outstanding player award. Most recently, Dansby Swanson is the most recent College World Series winner and World Series winner. Justin Turner did it the year before. Terry Francona has a College World Series title and a most outstanding player of the tournament in 1980. And then he won a World Series as a manager with the Red Sox. And then there's Ed Sprague. I know not a lot of people know about Ed Sprague because he played for 4 years in the major leagues maybe. I don't know. Maybe more than that. But he did win back-to-back College World Series titles in 87 and 88. And then he won back-to-back World Series titles in 92 and 93 with the Blue Jays. Now, his first World Series with the Blue Jays, he appeared at 2 at-bats, and one of them was a game-winning 2-run home run in Game 2. And then history was made this year at the College World Series as for the first time since the field was expanded to 64 that no seeded team would win in the first round. And for the first time in 23 years, all 4 first games were decided by at least 4 runs. So, hey, if you're ever in Omaha in June, check out the Men's College World Series because it's just awesome. And all my stats was brought to you by BaseballReference.com. Again, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not associated with them. I just like using their website. And Wikipedia, of course. But that's some or the other. So, there's been a lot of great history in the College World Series. It's going to be another fun week. Can't wait to see if Oklahoma can pull it off. Boomer Sooner, baby. All right. Now, let's talk about Sue Bird and how Sue Bird has to be considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time. It has to be. And for sure, one of the best women's basketball players of all time. And probably one of the best point guards, male or female, all time. She has won 4 NBA titles in 3 different decades. She was a 12-time WNBA All-Star in 3 different decades. She's been 5 times All-First Team WNBA, 3-time All-Second. She's been a 3-time assist leader. She's a 2-time peak performer. She is listed on the 10th, 15th, 20th, and 25th anniversary teams. Now, mind you, that was only 10 players, 15 players, 20 players, and 25 players chosen for each of those teams. Okay. She's won a Commissioner's Cup. She's a 5-time Russian National League champion. She's a 5-time Olympic gold medalist, a 4-time FIBA Cup winner. She's got 1 FIBA Cup bronze, a 5-time FIBA Cup gold winner, mind you, and 1 bronze. She's got 5 EuroLeague championships, 2 Europe Super Cup championships. She's a 2-time NCAA champion. She's a 3-time Nancy Lieberman Award winner. She's won the Wade Trophy for Best Female College Basketball Player. She's won a Honda Sports Award, winner for Best Female Athlete, only given out to 12 athletes. She was AP Women's College Basketball Player of the Year. She won an ESPY for Best Female College Athlete. She's won Naismith Awards. She has been a Naismith Award winner. The U.S. Basketball Women's Association named her National Player of the Year. She was an AP College Player of the Year. Oh, I guess I said that. She's Big East Player of the Year. She was a New York State Player of the Year in high school, where she also won a state championship and a national championship. She was a WBCA All-American and New York Daily News Player of the Year. At UConn, she tore an ACL her freshman year and then would go on to be number 24 on the 1,000-point list, number 2 in assists all-time, 7th in steals, 1st in three-point field goal percentage and free throw percentage. She won 3 Big East championships and 3 Big East regular season championships. She compiled a 114-4 record at UConn. And then she's gone on to play at the WNBA level, where she ranks first in seasons played, which this is her 20th. Games, assists with 3,048, and mind you, they only play 36 games a year. Minutes, all-star appearances with 12. Turnovers, which she has like almost a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. She's second in three-point field goals, third in attempts. She's fourth in steals with 687. She's 7th in points scored. And she's also held a front position with the Denver Nuggets. Like, she has contributed so much to the game, to the women's game of basketball, that the only other female athlete that I could find that was remotely on her level or above was Deanna Taurasi. Okay. Sue Bird is just amazing. She belongs in the Basketball Hall of Fame. She's an inspiration should be an inspiration to not only female athletes, but also male athletes, as some of her numbers that she put up are easily comparable. If you expand them to an 82 game season, she could easily average 22 points and 10 assists a game in an 82 game season. It's just unbelievable at what she has done for her career. She has more gold medals on the for basketball than any other Olympic athlete besides Deanna Taurasi, who has 5 as well. She was a flag bearer in the Tokyo Summer Olympics as well. So yeah, like, here's her career averages: 12 points per game. Okay, this is in 549 games started and 549 games played. All right, she's got 12 points per game. She's got 1.3 steals per game, 5.6 assists per game, 2.6 rebounds per game. Shoots 85% from the free throw line, 39% from beyond the arc, almost 40% from beyond the arc, 43% from the field, and she plays 31.4 minutes per game. Wow. In her championship seasons, granted, again, they only play it's one series. It's not, which I think, women's basketball players should play a little bit longer. Maybe expand that from 36 to 40 games a year. But, I mean, she's just unbelievable. 2-time EuroLeague All-Star and a 5-time EuroLeague champion. So, she's on the UConn Ring of Honor for players of all time. And we should be celebrating Sue Bird. And we should be celebrating Albert Pujols as well. I mean, this is Albert Pujols' last year, and the teams that aren't giving Albert Pujols probably one of the greatest players we've ever seen play in baseball. And mind you, I'm not an Albert Pujols fan at all. I mean, he's a great player, but I'm just not a fan of his. So, but that doesn't mean teams shouldn't do something for him. I think we should honor all of our greats, no matter what. I mean, watch them walk off into the sunset one last time. I mean, I remember Cal Ripken's tour. I went and saw him play in Kansas City. He would stand on top of the dugout and sign autographs 3 hours before for 2 hours before the game and then 2 hours after the game. Derek Jeter got the 2 from Wrigley Field's scoreboard and multiple other gifts. So, give Albert Pujols his due. WNBA is doing that for Sue Bird, and rightfully so. Sue Bird is by far one of the greatest athletes of the 21st century, if not the late 20th century as well. I'd put her up against any dude. So, it's the end of the show. Wow, it's got to be the quickest show in a long time. Filled your head full of knowledge. Hopefully you can use this useless knowledge that I'm giving you in your real life. And if not, spread the word. Spread the word far and wide to come listen to One Guy with a Mic, Dingers and Dunks, where I bring the stats so you can bring the facts. Also, like I said earlier in the program, follow me on TikTok at One Guy with a Mic. Hit me up on Twitter at One Guy with a Mic. Facebook at One Guy with a Mic. Go follow me on Twitch. You know, here's the deal. I get to 50 followers on Twitch, I will do more streaming. Okay? You can just do so much more when you have 50 followers on Twitch. Okay? I will make time to do more streaming on Twitch once I hit 50 followers. So that's your guys' goal. Give me the 50 followers on Twitch. I'm at 23 right now. And then we'll all do Sunday morning chats, where you bring your breakfast and we sit around and we just talk about the week, talk about your week, have a little bounce back, get to know each other, become friends. Okay. Follow me, we're on all your social media platforms. Oh yeah, Instagram for sure. I mean, I don't put a whole lot of photos on Instagram, but that might start as well. We could get there. Also, I don't know. I was gonna say something, but totally forgot. Boom, mind blown. I don't have something to say. All right, y'all have a great night, great day, great afternoon. Hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, ring the bell so you're notified when these things drop, because I'm really trying to drop them on Sunday mornings, but sometimes my schedule, like this week, gets in the way, and here I am on a Sunday night dropping it for you. So, whenever you're listening to this, tell someone you love them. Later.
It was just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction, in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football. college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so it
retro
was that
sports
Marla Delp
advertisement
discovered the
clapboards.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, Sports Writer. Coming soon.